Good evening, everyone. So today we are going to discuss our 2022 G.C.E.A.L level advanced level examination combined maths paper. Okay, so since most of you are asked to do the trigonometric question, so I'm going to start with it. Right. So you see, this is our trigonometric question, which is the question number 17 in the paper. And this is the B part. Normally, this part comes with what? Using sine rule and cosine rule. Now they have given so many data. I have marked all the data in the diagram. As well as now what they are asking us to prove means they are asking us to prove AD squared is equivalent to 16P squared sine squared alpha minus sine 2 alpha plus 1. So it seems to be a new question. That means in the recent past papers, the same idea is not there. But it is from the basic. That means only two rules now we know. One is sine rule and the other one is what? And the other one is cosine rule. But normally, if the answer is coming in like a sine rule, there won't be a squared, isn't it? AD squared. Because normally what is sine rule? For any triangle ABC, okay, for any triangle ABC, so let's tell this is ABC. A over sine A is equivalent to what? A over sine A is equivalent to B over sine B. That is equivalent to C over sine C. A over sine A is equivalent to B over sine B. That is equivalent to C over sine C. But when you see the answer, you see there are some squared and all, AD squared, 16P squared. Where can we identify this squared, these things? Means in cosine rule, isn't it? For example, now we will mark these sides, okay? Opposite to this capital A, this is simple A, okay? According to usual notation, okay? So this is simple C, this is simple B, right? So in the same triangle, if I write cosine rule, I can write it. A squared is equivalent to B squared plus C squared. A squared is equivalent to B squared plus C squared minus 2BC cos A. So if something comes with a square like this, A squared, B squared, that means this answer we have to show from the cosine rule. That is the first idea we have to put it in mind. Right. So AD, so AD means this length. Can you see? That means the question might maybe to what? Apply cosine rule for this particular triangle. AD is here, no? Yes. Okay. So shall we apply cosine rule for this particular triangle? Yes. Okay. Now you see, this is the basic. A squared is equal to B squared plus C squared minus 2BC cos A, right? Now this is the angle A. Okay. So if I'm going to write cos A, here it would be this thing, opposite to that. That is A squared. So here AD squared I'm going to write means the angle which I will be using will be what? Alpha. Isn't it? Here you see A squared means cos A, opposite to that. Similarly, here I'm going to use AD means opposite to that. That is what? Alpha. So, first of all, I'm going to write it down like this. For this particular triangle ADC, I am planning to what? Use the cosine rule. So, what I can write? AD squared is equivalent to, okay, AD squared is equivalent to. Then you see, B squared plus C squared. For example, if I'm writing A squared here, other side, this squared plus this squared. But only one side I know. Here you see, AD I'm writing, okay. DC I know. Okay, so DC is how much? 4P, all things kept. But unfortunately, they have not given this side. AC is not given. But if I am writing here, this B and C I should mention, right? Similarly, if I am going to write AD, I need the length of DC, which is 4P, that is already we know. I need the length of AC also. So how to find the length of AC? Okay, what is the idea? When you see this question, in this question, you can see there are all of them are in sine, everything. That means in the answer, if I directly apply cos rule, cos will only be coming, no. So sine is there. So what am I planning means? Now, this particular side is AC, right? Okay. this particular side is AC. This AC is common to both these triangles, isn't it? For ADC also, it has a side AC. For ABC also, it has a side AC. So what am I planning means? If I write AC, according to this triangle, there will be some sine terms coming. I can use sine rule for this triangle, isn't it? Because you see, this is pi by 6, this is 2p, opposite length is I know. So this alpha angle I know. This angle only, I don't know. That means, sorry, not the angle, this side. Therefore, what am I planning to do? For the triangle ABC, I am planning to apply the sine rule. Why did I get an idea like that? So earlier I planned to apply the cosine rule for this particular triangle. Because AC's side length is not given. Okay, so rather than doing a geometric construction or something in order to find AC, easily using sine rule, we can find it, right? Two angles are there, the length of one side is there, AC is common to both of these triangles. Yes, isn't it? Therefore, what I'm going to do means this particular triangle, I'm going to use sine rule. What is sine rule? A over sine A is equivalent to B over sine B. That is equivalent to C over sine C. Right. Therefore, write it down. 2p is the length of the side. Opposite angle is sine pi by 6. 2p over sine pi by 6 is equivalent to AZ over sine alpha. Okay. What is the value of sine pi by 6? Sine 30 degrees is half, isn't it? Therefore, 2p over, here I can write half. That is equivalent to what? That is equivalent to AZ over sine alpha. What is going to happen means these two will go up. Therefore, 4p is equivalent to AZ over sine alpha. Therefore, now I know what is AC. AC is how much? AC is equivalent to 4p sine alpha. So I have calculated the value of AC. I'm really happy I got AC in terms of sine alpha in the question also. It is in terms of sine alpha. Therefore, AD squared is equivalent to BC squared, that is 4P squared plus AC squared. What is my AC? 4P sine alpha. Therefore, I'm substituting here 4P sine alpha whole thing squared. Okay, minus 2 into BC cos A. Okay, BC, what is my B? 4P. Okay, what is my C in the place of C? I have 4p sine alpha. Okay, 4p sine alpha. I have it. Right. So cos A. In the place of cos, what we have? Alpha we have. Therefore, we can write this as cos alpha. Then AD squared is equivalent to how much? AD squared is equivalent to. When you are doing trigonometric question, don't like rushly simplify and go. Look at the answer each time. According to the answer, we have to set it. Answer 16p squared is there. That means we have to expand it, right? Then 4p into 4p is how much? 16p squared. Then 4p into 4p is 16p squared. Sine alpha into sine alpha is sine squared alpha minus of, here you see, careful, okay? See the answer a bit. In the answer, we have a term called sine 2 alpha. Yes, according to trigonometry, what is the expansion of sine 2 alpha? Sine 2 alpha is equivalent to 2 sine alpha cos alpha. Therefore, what you can do means 2 sine alpha cos alpha in the place of 2 sine alpha cos alpha, we can write sine 2 alpha. I looked at the answer. Otherwise, if you go simplifying in your own way, never can't approach the answer. Okay. Therefore, this 4 into 4, that is 16p squared. 2 sine alpha cos alpha. Substitute here sine 2 alpha. Right. For everything which is common, 16p squared is common. Right. Therefore, we can write it down here. AD squared is equivalent to AD squared is equivalent to 16p squared. We can take it common. That is 1 plus sine squared alpha. 1 plus sine squared alpha minus sine 2 alpha. Therefore, what did they ask to prove? Means they asked to prove AD squared. Therefore, we can write it here. AD squared is 16p squared sine squared alpha minus sine 2 alpha plus 1. Okay. So this is the proof they asked to prove. We have proved it. Right? So you see how much easy it is. Okay? Nothing. It's really easy. That means what you have to do means you have to think regarding what? Regarding the sine rule and the cosine rule. Recently, they are sine rule. Cosine rule, you know. So this is how you develop your thinking. Okay. If you memorize something, can't see the answer. Squared is there. From sine can't get it now. Then cos. But if I use the cosine rule, the answer is sine. Then you have to incorporate it from what? From the sine rule. So we have derived the expression AD squared is equivalent to 16p squared sine squared alpha minus sine 2 alpha plus 1. Right. Okay. So the next part what they are asking means they are asking to prove if AD is equivalent to 4P, show that alpha is equivalent to tan inverse 2. Right. So I'm going to use this result. So AD is 4P, right? So shall we substitute it here? 4P whole thing squared. That is equivalent to 16P squared. Here we can write it sine squared alpha minus sine 2 alpha plus 1. Okay, right. Now here you see 4p, whole thing squared. When you square 4p, how much you will be getting? 16p squared. Okay, here we will be getting 16p squared. That is 16p squared here, right? So here we have sine squared alpha minus sine 2 alpha plus 1. Sine squared alpha minus sine 2 alpha plus 1. So what we are going to do means I'm going to cut it this 16p squared and this 16p squared. Therefore, 1 is equivalent to sine squared alpha minus sine 2 alpha plus 1. Right? So we can cancel these two also. This plus 1 and this plus 1. Therefore, sine squared alpha minus sine 2 alpha, that is equivalent to what? That is equivalent to 0. Okay. So, sine squared alpha, what is the expansion of sine 2 alpha? That is 2 sine alpha cos alpha. That is equivalent to what? That is equivalent to 0. Right? Then what you have to do means you have to take sine alpha out. It is common, right? Therefore, we will be getting sine alpha minus 2 cos alpha. That is equivalent to what? That is equivalent to 0. Therefore, we can tell sine alpha is equivalent to 0. But careful, careful. Alpha is a certain angle. Can it be 0? Think a minute. If alpha is equivalent to 0, it is not an angle, right? So alpha is greater than 0. Okay, in the previous question itself, they have given. Okay, therefore, sine alpha cannot be equivalent to 0. Therefore, we can tell sine alpha. This is our only result. Sine alpha minus 2 cos alpha, that is equivalent to 0. Therefore, I can write it here. Sine alpha is equivalent to what? That is equivalent to 2 cos alpha. Divide by cos alpha both sides. Tan alpha is equivalent to 2. Therefore, alpha is equivalent to tan inverse 2. Alpha is equivalent to tan inverse 2. Such a simple question, right? So what is the problem means? If you are not thinking, it won't come. So if you think like every question, everything from the paper is from the basics. Nothing in the paper is difficult. Okay, everything is easy. Simplification and the way of mapping. Okay, so no point of worrying now. After doing exam, no point of worrying. No, when you're studying itself, okay? So this is mainly, I'm doing this video for 2023 and 2024 batches. When you're studying itself, map, and study. Don't do the last 5 years papers. Memorize it. If it comes like this, you have to do it like this. All the questions in the exam will come from the basic. Sine rule, cosine. We have to train our mind how to map it, how to think. If you think, you will never lose 1 marks in maths. Okay. So I'm going to go out from this video. So I hope everyone can understand this one. So hoping to release all the answers, but since exam is going on, not going to release everything at a stretch. So let's meet in the next video. So bye-bye. Okay.